knowledge and so many things they have asked to our resource person. It shows that their interest and their full participation in the course. So with these words, I welcome you, sir. Most welcome. We are very happy to see you over here. And the floor is yours. Now you please start, sir.
Thank you very much, madam, for introducing me with the uh, teachers who have joined from different places. This orientation program organized by MTTC. As madam has already introduced me, that I am holding the central responsibility of maintaining law and order in the campus uh, as a proctor of the university. And therefore, I was given the impression by the uh, in charge of the program, I should speak on the
Sir, you are
topic.
not audible.
I'm not audible. Sorry.
आवाज आ रही है सर?
हाँ, आपकी
Audible, sir.
आ रही है सर, आ रही है।
uh, you
Audible,
are
sir,
audible.
audible.
You are audible, but
Audible.
I'm not sure I'm audible or not. But I think now I'm audible. I think. So am I audible to all of you?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Audible, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So now I was telling that I am expected to speak on the topic of common concern and common interest. And definitely from that point of view, I'm going to start my discussion. I hope that all of you are teacher uh, in one or other university or college, as the case may be. And almost all the university and colleges may be government aided or private universities or colleges. They are all regulated to some extent by the UGC rules and regulation of the university or the state rules and regulations. Therefore, there are some thing common which is supposed to be followed by each and every institution, maybe private university, college, or maybe a government university, central university, or state university and college. As all of you know, being the teachers in different discipline, that education is most valuable thing in the life of individual as well as in the collective life of the society itself, uh, of any nation, of any country. Basically, education is considered as backbone or bedrock of any developed society. And in other words, you can say that future development of any nation, by and large, depends upon the good education policy of that very nation, of that very country. Examples are there. Maybe England, maybe America, maybe some other countries, developed countries. If they have made the development in the field of science and technology, that is all because of the good universities and good universities and good colleges, quality universities and quality education colleges, quality research that has led to the different scientific inventions, and ultimately they have proved to be the backbone of the development of any country or of any nation. Therefore, here, friends,
Good morning, sir.
good morning. So, anybody was saying something? So, I was saying that education is a basic necessity of the individual human, collective necessity of the society, state, as well as the nation. And I have already said that future development in all walk of the life of the nation, by and large, is subject to the good education policy of that very nation. Therefore, almost across the nation, across the society, across the ideological system, education has been considered as one of the basic element of the fundamental right or basic element of the human necessity. And uh, later on, it has been considered as an integral part of the human right, or rather, now it is being considered as integral part of the natural right. This is the natural human necessity. Without education, I think that no person is complete. There can be no perfect and complete personality unless one is educated, not only educated, but is properly educated. Therefore, for the development of the human personality, individual personality, for the development of the collective resources of the nation or the country, it is necessary that there must be a good education system. There should be a quality education system. And for the good education system, not only good education, quality education, but one must have the fair opportunity to have access to the education system of the state or country, to the quality education system of the state or country that has been made by the state authorities concerned. Therefore, friends, realizing the importance of the education in individual interest, in the collective interest of the nation, a right to education was earlier read within the meaning of the Article 21 of the Constitution, which prima facie speak about right to life and right to liberty. In the course of the time, the expression right to life was interpreted by the Supreme Court. From Khadak Singh case to the Menka Gandhi, a liberal interpretation was given by the Supreme Court as to what is meant by the life and what is meant by the liberty. In nutshell, the Supreme Court has been of the considered opinion that right to life doesn't mean bare life, mere existence of the human being, but right to life means and includes a quality life, a dignified survival, a survival with dignity. So, meaning thereby that right to life also includes the right to dignity. And education basically gives an individual dignity, means it affords the opportunity to the individual to lead a dignified life in the given society or in a society. Therefore, in the course of the time earlier, this education was just was read in Article 21 of the Constitution, but it was not part of the fundamental rights. But realizing in the course of the time, realizing the importance of the education, now the government, the parliament, in 86 made amendment in the constitution. 86 amendment was made, and wide 86 amendment 2002, scope of the fundamental right was widened, horizon of article 21 was widened, and a separate article, article 21A, was inserted to within the frame of the fundamental right, and now right to education is a fundamental right. Wide article 21A of the constitution, which was amended in 2002. What is the mandate of article 21A? Article 21A of the constitution mandates the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all the children of the age between 6 to 14 years by making the law as may be deemed fit and necessary by the state concerned. And therefore, a right to education now is a fundamental right, whereas this right is free education is confined only up to certain age. But education, right to education as such is a fundamental right, and therefore the Supreme Court in Mohini Jain versus State of Karnataka held before this introduction of Article 21A of the Constitution. There was a case was decided by the Supreme Court, and the name of the case is Mohini Jain versus State of Karnataka. In Mohini Jain versus State of Karnataka, the core issue was the capitation fees, high capitation fees. But while disposing of the writ petition or the core issues, the Supreme Court also decided the incidental issue and held that right to education is fundamental right of the citizen at all the level. Meaning thereby, according to the Supreme Court in Mohini Jain case, right to education is fundamental right, and this right is available to all the person across the age, from school to the college. And the right to education not only means just getting the admission in the university and colleges, going to the university, but right to education means the quality education. Article 21A of the Constitution, or Article 21A, because Article 21 speaks about the right to life, and right to life means a quality life, a dignified life. And for a dignified life, education is must, education is necessary. If one is not educated, his life cannot be a quality life. He cannot lead a dignified life in the society. And therefore, in order to lead a dignified life, for the fullest development of the personality of the individual, a quality education is indispensable. And therefore, it is a responsibility of the state concerned not to facilitate the education, access to the education, but at the same time, the government is mandated by Article 20 as 21, read with Article 21A of the Constitution, as well as the mandate of the Supreme Court in Mohini Jain versus State of Karnataka. Though Mohini Jain case was subsequently modified to some extent in Unni Krishnan case. And again, the Supreme Court said that this cannot be said as a fundamental right at all level, because there are some constraints. There may be some constraint with the government, and therefore it should be left with the government whether they will consider the right to education as fundamental right at all the level, or it will be confined. But it should be confined in between the age of 6 to 14. But the spirit of the Article 21 Article 21A, as well as the decision of the Supreme Court in Mohini Jain, as well as the Unikrishnan case, is that right to education is an indispensable right enshrined in Article 21. It is indispensable for the fullest personality development of the individual, as well as for the development of the infrastructure resources of the country. Also, the education is must, education is necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, not only education, I have said that quality education, and not only the quality for quality, rather the state or the government or the institutions must also facilitate fair opportunity to have access to the quality education by getting enrolled in the university and colleges. One must have the fair opportunity. Fair opportunity means that one must feel good and free in the system, in the education system. That is, one must feel free, one must feel good by getting enrolled in the university or college of his or her choice. Wherever he has got or she has got enrolled himself or herself in any course or class, in any university or in any college, university or college may be of very high quality, may be a well-reputed institution, having the rank at the national or international level. This is not enough. Maybe imparting very good education at all level. This is not sufficient. This is not enough. What is further required, that all those who have joined the university or respective college in any class or the course or discipline must feel good, accommodated, and fearless. If one, after getting the admission, is not feeling good, is not feeling free, is not feeling, is not having uh, meaning thereby, not feeling integrated in the system, he cannot go to the class. He cannot attend the laboratories. He cannot attend the seminar or lectures. And even if he is going, he will be under the apprehension anything may happen after the classroom, after the seminar, after the laboratory. Therefore, he may not be devoting himself to the fullest extent in the classroom, in understanding the lecture, in laboratory, attending the understanding the techniques taught by the teacher, may not be having the good perception about the lecture being delivered in the seminar or in the library room. Therefore, because in the course of the time, it was reported to the government by the agencies that in the universities and colleges there is a ghost or meanness that is known as ragging of the new student by the senior students, by the old student of the school or college where he or she has got the admission. And a report started reaching to the government sector from the engineering colleges and medical colleges. In various engineering colleges and medical colleges, after admission of the new students, is after outside the classroom. Sorry. After the classroom, after the library, outside the library, outside the classroom, outside the laboratories, the students were uh, subjected to some kind of the physical violence in the guise of familiarization or initiation of the new student to integrate in the new school and college or the university, a particular university. As a result, many promising students of the engineering colleges, medical colleges, either left the course or changed the college and went to some inferior quality colleges and universities. And this means day by day multiplied, and it occupied almost all the universities and colleges. In some of the universities, it was more rampant, more in violent form. In some of the universities, it was less harmful. But anyhow, to some extent, in every university and college, the new students, those who got the admission in the new class, they were subjected to some kind of mental and physical harassment. Some kind of the physical and mental harassment. Friends, this difficulty of the students were realized by the government in power, and not only the government in power, but matter went before the Supreme Court after the death of a student in Dr. Rajendra Prasad Medical College, and the name of the case was Aman Kachru, a first year student at Rajendra Prasad Medical College in Himachal Pradesh. The death of this boy was a turning point on the subject matter of ragging. Friends, then another matter was before the Supreme Court, that is known as University of Kerala versus Council of Principal Colleges, Kerala and others. Thereafter, taking the serious note of this problem in the educational system of the country, that is in the colleges and universities of the state or the country, Supreme Court through these cases took the serious note of this menace, and ultimately the Supreme Court uh, constituted a high power committee that is known as Raghavan Committee, R.K. Raghavan, the former CBI director. He was made the chairman of the committee, and he was requested by the court itself that committee should investigate into the root of this problem, and then it should come out with concrete suggestion as to how to deal with this problem, how to curb the menace of ragging going on in the universities and the colleges across the country. Respected audience, as a teacher, as all of you may be fully aware, that Raghavan committee submitted its report. A comprehensive report was submitted, was prepared, was drafted, and it was submitted in the office of the Registrar General of the Supreme Court. And committee of the report of the committee was viewed by the Supreme Court, and full report of the committee as it is was approved by the Supreme Court. And the committee emphasized how to curb or how to minimize or zero the menace of ragging in the universities and colleges across the country. And therefore, Raghavan committee made certain key recommendations. And one of the important recommendation of the committee was that every college and university in the country must establish certain committees to prevent ragging in any form in its university or college. Name of a committee was pointed out, and who will constitute the committee, that was also pointed out in the Raghavan committee. And not only committee recommended for the establishment of committees in the universities and colleges, but at the same time, the Raghavan committee also formulated the meaning of ragging. What constitutes ragging? Earlier, for the want of any definition, if the matter was reported, say for example, in the name of introduction, any student was subjected to the beating or violence in a hostel or the university premises, and FIR was lodged or matter was reported to the police or to the university administration, then it was taken as by the university and college, it was taken as a routine indiscipline or misconduct on the part of the wrongdoer, and only the punishment was given, or he was subjected to the punishment only in ordinary course of the ordinary punishment was given, that sometimes he was sent down from the classes, expelled from the hostel, but meaning thereby there was no any definite uniform rule or regulation dealing with the problem of ragging in the university and colleges, which had become a great problem in the educational system of the country. Friends, therefore, after the recommendation of the Raghavan committee, approval of the same by the Supreme Court, and followed by the decision of the Supreme Court in state of Kerala versus Council of Principals, University Grant Commission in order to implement in the legal form this recommendation of the Raghavan committee report, a regulation was drafted which is known as regulation on curbing the menace of ragging in the higher educational system 2009, meaning thereby in the background of the Raghavan committee report, followed by the approval of the Supreme Court, as well as directives of the Supreme Court, a subsequent case, Kerala case, The UGC was required to frame the regulation, and the UGC accordingly framed the regulation, and that regulation came to be known uh, as UGC regulations on curbing the menace of ragging in the higher educational system, or 2009, and that is popularly known as Anti-Ragging Regulation 2009. And in the regulation, this is a very lengthy regulation, running over in several pages. Here it may not be possible to discuss each and every point specified in the regulation, but of course, uh, from your point of view, uh, some of the points need to be highlighted, or your attention may be drawn towards the important uh, points of regulations which are mentioned in the UGC regulation 2009. And the UGC also notified this regulation with the direction that now, after coming into force of this regulation, each university and college, maybe the government university or maybe government college, maybe the private university or maybe the private college, it is mandatory for every individual college and university of the country to implement in its letter and spirit regulation 2009, failing which individual university or college may face legal consequences in different form, meaning thereby that in case any university or college has failed to implement in letter and spirit regulation 2009, meaning thereby that if any university and college has failed to prevent menace of ragging, then university or college will be liable to be held, and it can be subjected to some action, and the minimum action will be that university and college will be blacklisted, financial grant will be withheld according to the magnitude of the violation. Not only this, even a degree can be de-recognized, and the head of the institution and hierarchy of the administration will be collectively responsible for the uh, for non-implementation of UGC regulation 2009, that is curbing anti-ragging regulation 2009. Therefore, the UGC regulation 2009, one of the important aspect of this regulation is that what was undefined, that was well defined, that is what constitute the ragging, what act and conduct of the individual or group of the students will amount to ragging, that was well defined under the regulation 3 of the under the rule 3 under the rule 3 of the UGC regulation 2009. So what is ragging? It is well defined, and definition of the ragging is exhaustive and inclusive. Exhaustive means that some of the acts or misconduct of the individual students has been made explicit as ragging. by virtue of the regulation 3 of 2009. But apart from this, some other acts which may not be directly covered by the regulation may be in the by interpretation covered by the regulation 2009, and therefore definition of the ragging has been made not only explicit, but it has been made very exhaustive, and it is inclusive. It includes so many acts and conducts uh, in the definition of the ragging. Therefore, now all of you are requested, are supposed to be aware as to what constitutes the ragging. In the definition clause, it is also explicit uh, who can be held responsible for ragging. Earlier, there was a concept. Ragging means means uh, subjecting one student, one junior student, to introduction by some senior student. Now this barrier has been done away. Now, victim of the ragging can be anyone, and perpetrator of the ragging can be anyone. Victim of the ragging may be fresher, perpetrator of the ragging may be a senior, or maybe any student, even maybe of his own rank and file. Meaning thereby that victim and perpetrator may be of same rank and file, may be of same class, may be of same seniority, may be of same standing. Earlier, the concept of the ragging was very limited, but now the horizon of the ragging has been expanded, and now it includes, if you go by the class 3, or you go by the regulation 3 of the anti-ragging regulation 2003, you will note that any conduct by any student or students, whether by words or spoken or written, or by any act which has the effect of teasing or treating or handling with rudeness a fresher or any other student. This is the first line of section rule regulation 3 of the said regulation 2009. What constitutes the ragging, and who can commit the ragging, and who can be victim of the ragging. It is very much explicit from the regulation 3 of the regulation 2009 that victim may be any student of a particular college or university, and wrongdoer may be of any class of the university or respective college. Further, ragging may take in any form. It may be verbal, or it may be in writing, and even sometimes even gesture may also be considered as a ragging within the meaning of regulation 3 of the regulation 2009. Words spoken or written. Spoken and written also includes by gesture. Which has effect of teasing, handling with ruthlessness, a fresher or any other student. So meaning thereby that any act or conduct which in effect causes a physical or mental violence may be considered as ragging within the regulation 3 of the said regulation. Therefore, simply the physical violence is not sufficient. If somebody is passing the sarcastic comments either on his her gender, with reference to the gender, if any comment is passed, anything is done which causes or which is likely to cause the mental harassment, mental harassment with reference to his caste, with reference to his color, with reference to his place of birth, with reference to his dynasty, with reference to his career, whatever may be. Meaning thereby with reference to anything, if any comment is made, which in effect causes him or her mental trauma or mental uh, 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 mental problem, or if any student is subjected to the rude behavior by one student towards another student, also comes within the definition of the ragging. And in this way, ragging now is very vast and may include something else. Then friends, other things which are included within the meaning of the ragging, that is also indulging in rowdy or indisciplined activities by any student or student which causes or is likely to cause annoyance, hardship, physical or psychological harm, or raises fear or apprehension thereof in any fresher or in any other student. All of you may be aware that in most of the engineering colleges and medical colleges, uh, before the start of the session or after the end of the session, there is a call for strike, band, that no class will be held. Henceforth, a call is given by a group of the students that henceforth first year classes will be off. And if any student will dare to come to the class, he will face the dire consequences. Sometimes this type of the statement is issued directly or indirectly, alluding that if anyone comes to the class despite the call of one, he or she will be dealt with by the group of the student. Now, nothing has been done directly. There is no physical harm. No individual is addressed. Only a simple call has been given. But this call, in effect, generate a wave of fear among the students, and therefore, even students wishing to go to the classes do not turn up in the classes because of the threat already given by a group. This is a rowdyism. This is also a case of the rowdyism. A rowdy element, a group of the students who are not interested in the class, they try to impose their own wishes, their own plan over the wishes and career of the rest of the student. They try to dominate other student by issuing a call. So the issuance of the call for declaring the band or strike at the beginning or in the middle or at the end of the session, boycott of the classes, boycott of the examination. Now all these things, they are viewed within the meaning of word ragging, that this amount to the ragging. And even if there is a report, then the individual student or a group of the student may be, so meaning thereby anything which is of threatening nature, anything which is likely to cause fear in the mind of the individual student or the group of the student, any act or conduct which reflects the rudeness, misbehavior, misconduct, violence, physical or mental, or is likely to cause the physical or mental violence. Now, any rowdy act, sometime you might have noticed in the school and college that all of a sudden a group of the students holding the lathi and a danda, they will run towards the class and will immediately ask all the class student of the class, get out from this class. go out from the examination hall. They will not tell anything. Simply a plain statement will be made that leave the classes, leave the examination hall. They will do nothing. Simply they will be holding the danda, they will be holding the rod. Sometimes some of them may be holding some weapon, and thereby they will try to impress upon that in case they do not follow their dictate, they will face the dire consequences, some violent consequences. And normally the student, without saying anything, they will leave the examination hall, despite the fact they may not be wishing. They might have well prepared in the examination, but they leave the. So all these things, they come within the meaning of the rowdyism, and is asking any student to do any act which such a student will not in ordinary course do, and which has the effect of generating sense of shame or terror. मैं आपको बताऊं, जब हम लोग ऐसे साल में आए in 1982, just I'm giving the example. So at that time it was considered as a tradition, and tradition was that on every Saturday in night at about 10, all the new students in the hostel were supposed to gather at one place in one room, where already the seniors will be sitting. One by one will appear before the senior. And what happened, that is a different story. But in the last, all the students were required, fresher were required कि अब जब हो जाता, सारी चीजें हो जाती, उसके बाद में कहते थे कि आप लोग, एक कमरा होता था उसमें जाइए और अपने कपड़े चेंज करिए। और चेंज का मतलब ये था कि जो कपड़ा आप पहने उसे उल्टा पहनिए, इन रिवर्स। कि यानी अगर आप कुर्ता और पैजामा पहने तो उसको उल्टा पहनिए, अगर आप टोपी लगाए तो उसे उल्टा लगा लीजिए। और चप्पल यानी जो पहने हुए हैं, जूता जो है, तो दाहिने का बाएं में, बाएं का दाहिने में पहनिए। और उसके बाद में एक हर आदमी को एक डंडा दिया जाता था, उसमें जो वॉशरूम होता था उसका जो लोटा होता था, उस लोटे को उसमें लटका करके और एक सबको एक साथ में लाइन से खड़ा कर देते थे और कहते थे कि एक स्लोगन दिया जाता था, इस स्लोगन को आप शाउट करते हुए और एक राउंड लीजिए। तो ये क्या है, ये देखिए, नाउ दिस इज रैगिंग। अगर इफ यू गो बाय द क्लास asking any student to do any act which such student will not in ordinary course do, and which has the effect of causing or generating the sense of shame, torment or embarrassment. So now this act which I have given the example, अब आप देखिए ये पूरा का पूरा इस क्लास से कवर होता है, और नाउ इट इज राइट। And not only in one institution, almost it was common. Even more than this, things were very much common in almost in the engineering college and medical college, private medical college. It was more rampant and more in violent form. किस किस तरीके से रैगिंग होती है, आपने अखबारों में, न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा होगा कि उनसे क्या क्या करने। जैसे ये होता था कि वॉशरूम को, कई जगह ये रिपोर्ट आई कि वॉशरूम को बाकायदा तौर पे प्लांट में वो फिल्थी यानी गंदा किया जाता था। इसके बाद में जूनियर से कहा जाता था, यानी जो फ्रेशर होता था उससे कहा जाता था कि यू गो एंड क्लीन इट। स्वच्छ भारत अभियान के तहत नहीं होता था ये काम, बल्कि एक प्लान के तहत होता था। आज तो हमारे पास एक अभियान है, एक एक एक, 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 एक पार्ट ऑफ नेशनल प्रोग्राम है कि हम अपने आसपास में सफाई रखें, और रखना भी चाहिए। बहुत अच्छी बात है कि हम जहाँ बैठे हैं, अपने क्लासरूम में हैं या अपने कॉरिडोर में हैं या अपने रूम पे हैं, वेयर एवर वी आर, it is our responsibility to see that it is neat and clean. That is now this is the mission of the nation initiated by the Pradhan Mantri, and almost it has been appreciated by each and everyone, not only in the country, even across the world. On this count, our Prime Minister has been appreciated almost by all the developing nation. That is one thing. But what was required to be done uh, under the banner of this ragging, that was entirely different. Our intention was here, intention is different. Their intention was different. There, the intention was to demean the uh, fellow student. Here, the intention is to clean the nation. To demean the individual and cleaning the place or cleaning the nation, these are the two different uh, 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 concepts. So this type of the thing was, and many other things were required to be done which cannot be described over here. Even the female students were subjected to many uh, 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 acts which were causing the physical and mental harassment, and therefore, in order to escape from the this formalization, familiarization, which was known as कि साहब हम इनको अपनी सोसाइटी में अकोमोडेट करने के लिए ये चीज करें, लेकिन उसका मतलब कुछ और होता था. इतनी ऐसी ऐसी चीजें होती थी कि बास सम टाइम many students left the college, not only even sometime committed the suicide, made the attempt of the suicide, and sometime some of the students, as I pointed out, Kacharu case, that he was subjected to so much physical beating that he could not sustain it, and ultimately he died in the hospital. So, in order to control all these things, the regulation defines as to what constitutes the ragging. Now, the next point, there are so many other things which are included within the meaning of this ragging. Now, you can go through and understand as to now what is meant by the ragging uh, by one student against other student. Number one. The second thing was that and this definition of the ragging was revised in 2016. Section 3 was amended to some extent, and it was revised and updated. And now, according to the amended rule, any act of the physical, mental abuse, bullying, exclusion targeted at another student on the ground of color, race, caste, ethnicity, gender, including the transgender, sexual orientation, appearance, nationality, regional origins, linguistic identity, place of birth, place of residence, or economic ground. Meaning thereby, if any student subject to any other student of these acts, then all these things, कि जैसे कोई कहता है, जैसे हम लोग एक बहुत आम लोग अबे बिहारी, जिसे कहते हैं एक कंटेम्पचुअस इंटेंशन होता है, कंटेम्पचुअस वर्ड इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. नाउ दिस रिफर टू द प्लेस ऑफ रेजिडेंस, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ. कोई किसी को किसी के जाति से, किसी के खानदान से, किसी के कलर से अगर उसको डिमीन करने की कोशिश करता बाय वर्ड्स और इन राइटिंग, सो ये सारी चीजें, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर इंक्लूडेड विद इन द रिवाइज डेफिनेशन. मीनिंग कि जिन ग्राउंड्स पे अगर आप देखें तो जो रिवाइज डेफिनेशन है, तो जिन ग्राउंड पे डिस्क्रिमिनेशन प्रोहिबिटेड है अंडर आर्टिकल 15, 16 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, 17 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, उन्हीं सारे ग्राउंड को जो है वो रैगिंग के अंदर इंक्लूड कर दिया गया है कि अगर इफ समबडी has been subjected to the physical or mental harassment on the grounds mentioned in Article 15 and 16 of the Constitution, or if on same ground, if somebody has been subjected to the teasing, mental harassment, physical harassment, or comments, sarcastic comments, indecent comments, so all these things will be viewed and will be taken as ragging. Second thing, important contribution of the regulation or Raghavan committee on the basis of which regulation was prepared is that now a definite punishment is prescribed for the act of rape. If anybody is found guilty of ragging in any form under any clause or subclass of section, regulation 3, then he or she can be subjected to some kind of the punishment which is to be imposed by a well-established body that is known as anti-ragging committee. Now, the kind of the punishment in hierarchy which can be imposed on a wrongdoer, on the perpetrator of this ragging, they are also provided within the frame of anti-ragging regulation 2009. And the kind of the punishment which can be given to the wrongdoer vary, or it depends upon the form or nature or magnitude of the act or misconduct amounting to the rape. Therefore, first and foremost, punishment which can be given to a perpetrator or wrongdoer for the offense, because now the ragging is declared as offense, and therefore, for ragging, institution can punish, and the criminal proceeding can also be initiated against the perpetrator by lodging the FIR in the concerned police station. It is a misconduct within the institutional frame, and it is a crime within the legal frame. And therefore, the institutions, respective institutions, higher education institutions, colleges and universities, they are required that if anyone is found guilty of ragging within the premise of a school or university or college, then proper investigation will be made. And after deep investigation, if one is found guilty of the misconduct under any class in any form, then he can be subjected to either of the punishment provided within the frame of anti-regulation 2009, and the range of the punishment which is provided to be imposed on the wrongdoer are here. I'm reading out one by one. Suspension from attending classes and academic privileges. I think this is the lightest punishment on the wrongdoer if one is found, and therefore just you try to understand that punishment, nature of the punishment depends upon the gravity of the misconduct or gravity of the ragging, magnitude of the ragging, nature of the ragging, ill effect of the ragging. All these factors are taken into consideration, then punishment is decided. So one of the punishment which can be given is suspension from attending the classes and academic privileges. Academic privileges means that he may not be allowed to sit in the seminar, library, participate in the seminars organized by the department or faculty, whatever may be. Meaning thereby anything which is connected to the academic activities, he or she can be deprived or can be denied if one is found guilty of rape. So this is the first and foremost punishment provided under the regulation. Withholding or withdrawing the scholarship, fellowship and other benefits. This is the pecuniary benefit, and one can be denied of the pecuniary benefit if one is guilty of ragging in any form under class 3 of the said regulation. Means जैसे किसी को अगर मान लीजिए कि कोई नेशनल स्कॉलरशिप मिली हुई है Maulana Azad every scholarship, Ambedkar scholarship. There are so many scholarship. All of you may be aware. Even UGC scholarship, net, non-net scholarship. These are the pecuniary benefits which are to which one may be entitled, may be getting, and therefore, while getting this scholarship, if one is found guilty of ragging in any form, then he can be denied this scholarship. Meaning the scholarship can be stopped or it can be withdrawn for a specified period of the time, maybe for 6 months, maybe for 3 months, maybe for 1 year, and sometime maybe for a whole period. Withholding, debarring from appearing in any test, examination, or other evaluation process, withholding the result. This is also a punishment. Then suspension, expulsion from hostel, because hostel is a kind of the privilege to the student in the university or college. Because in the hostel he is entitled to so many facilities which may not be available outside in the private hostel, in the private rented room. So hostel basically is a bigger or important facility attached with the studentship. And therefore, if any student is allowed to the hostel, and being allowed in a hostel, he commits any act or conduct which amounts to ragging within the meaning of section 3, and ultimately he is found guilty, he is proved the guilty, then he can be uh, expelled from the hall or from the hostel. In Aligarh Muslim University, you see that we have 19 halls of residences. हमारे यहाँ 19 हाल, 6 फीमेल के लिए है और 13 they are exclusively for boys, and about 12,000, more than 12,000 students, 12 to 15,000 students at a time, they reside in the hostel. And the hostel facility in Aligarh Muslim University is considered a great privilege to the student. और हॉस्टल में भी बहुत से हाल हैं जो बहुत पुराने हैं, कदीमी हाल माने जाते हैं. उन हाल में रहना एक अलग से एक अलग प्रिविलेज माना जाता है. ये एक कंसेप्ट, अदरवाइज सभी हाल तो हाल है, सबके अंदर फैसिलिटीज हैं. तो हमारे यहाँ एक स्टूडेंट डिसिप्लिन एंड कंडक्ट रूल 1985 है. अगर कोई स्टूडेंट कोई मिसकंडक्ट करता है तो उसको ही इज एक्सपेल्ड फ्रॉम द hall of residence for a specified period, for 1 academic session, for 2 academic session, because this causes a great problem to the student who is expelled from the hostel, because hostel is a great privilege available to a bona fide student in Aligarh. So this is considered a bigger punishment so far the Aligarh Muslim University consider, and same may be the case with other universities, because hostel after all is one of the important privilege to a bona fide student. So this is therefore it is also prescribed as one of the form of the punishment which can be given to a student who is guilty. Rustication from the university institution for a period ranging from 1 to 4 semesters. Rustication, expulsion. Now it is a great stigma. और अब ये पूछा जाता है जब कभी कोई लड़का एनी स्टूडेंट अप्लाइज समवेयर फॉर जॉब. नाउ आई रेफर अगेन टू द अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी. देयर इज ए वेल डिजाइंड फॉर्मेट form for applying for any job, maybe teaching, maybe not teaching, and there is a column. Ever you were debarred from a university, college, or class, or hostel? Yes or no? या रस्टिकेट हुए हैं, यानी ये भी है कि क्या आप कभी जो है आपका रस्टिकेशन हुआ है या एक्सपल्जन हुआ है. अगर आपका रस्टिकेशन और एक्सपल्जन हुआ है तो दिस में बी ए ग्राउंड फॉर डिनाइंग जॉब इन द university or college, because this is a punishment. Earlier it was a misconduct, but now it is a punishment. And now it is misconduct, read as well as it is a offense also. It is a crime. And therefore now if any student has been expelled from the rules of the university or from the rule of his college or class, then this will amount to uh, academic stigma on his career. And on the ground of academic stigma, one can be denied this opportunity to fetch the job in any university or college. Therefore, students must be made aware that one should desist from indulging in any kind of ragging or failing, which it may cause him great loss in terms of the career in future. Ladies and gentlemen, there are rustication, expulsion. These are the well-mentioned punishment which are provided in the statute. And now this is mandatory. This is must now every year. All the universities and colleges, they are supposed to fulfill to upload a compliance report on the UGC portal. Anti-ragging, there is a anti-ragging UGC portal. At the end of the session, all the institutions are mandated. There is a well-designed format or the well-designed this performa, and that performa is known as anti-ragging compliance performa. Every individual institution is required to fill up that very performa and upload it on the anti-ragging portal. And in the performa there are 41 columns. And there are 41 columns. Just I will mention some of them. Just otherwise now time is getting over. Now one of the column is whether the institution has set up or given any anti-ragging helpline, meaning thereby toll-free number should be circulated by the institution. This is one of the requirement. Anti-ragging committee should be set up. Anti-ragging squad should have been set up. Now awareness program should have been organized on periodical basis, making the student aware about what constitute the ragging and what will be the consequences of the ragging if one is found involved in the ragging. Who constitute the anti-ragging? Now that is a different question, a different thing you can go through. Now there is a anti-ragging monitoring cell. There should be anti-ragging monitoring cell, and monitoring cell should monitor what activities regarding for preventing the ragging in the institution has been taken up by the institution, by the various committees. How many cases of the ragging were reported? What procedure was adopted to investigate the incident of ragging? In how many cases the student was found guilty of ragging? In how many cases he was exonerated? Ground of punishment, ground of exoneration. Now there are 41 questions, and compliance report is to be submitted on the anti-ragging portal. And if anti-ragging compliance report is not uploaded on the anti-ragging portal by the individual institution, then the institution will face the consequences. So cause notice is issued. Reply is sought. If reply is not satisfactory, then some punishment will be given to the institution itself, as well as the head of the institution, hierarchy of the administration, all will face some consequences. And one of the punishment which can be given to the institution for non-compliance of the anti-ragging regulation 2009, that is the de-recognition of the degree, de-recognition of the college, de-recognition of withholding the fund. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, now time is getting over. In the last, I would like to impress upon you all that first of all, you be aware about the rules and regulations specified under the scheme of Anti-Ragging Regulation 2009. Start a awareness drive in your respective school and college, because everyone in the university and college is to some extent responsible for preventing the ragging. Individual human authorities are responsible, but individual teacher is also है. अगर कोई individual teacher है, क्लास ले रहा है, उसकी क्लास में कोई, तो इसकी अगर कोई किसी ने किसी को थप्पड़ मार दिया या गाली बक दिया या उसको पुश किया या कुछ कर दिया या उसको उसके ऊपर कमेंट कर दिया है, तो it is the responsibility of the individual teacher to immediately report it to the head of the department or to the head of the institution that this activity has happened in his classroom or in his presence. If it is not reported, he will be personally liable. अगर किसी को कोई, जैसे एक ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट अगर आपने देखा है कि उसको जो है उठक बैठक लगवा रहा है और आपने देखते हुए अगर हम मुस्कुराते हुए चले गए तो हम रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो गए. यानी हमारी ये जिम्मेदारी है कि पहले तो हम उसको वहीं रोकने की कोशिश करें और हम जो है दूसरों को इन्फॉर्म करें, जो अथॉरिटीज है उनको इन्फॉर्म करें. यानी ऑल पॉसिबल एफर्ट्स शुड बी मेड टू प्रिवेंट द रैगिंग इफ इट इज हैपनिंग विद इन योर रीच. तो इसलिए ये सब इंडिविजुअल की जिम्मेदारी है. ऐसा नहीं कि जैसे चेयरमैन, डीन सबकी जिम्मेदारी है. और चूंकि डीन एक अथॉरिटी, तो उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हायर लेवल की है, इंडिविजुअल की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अलग है. लेकिन कोई, हर आदमी, अगर आप एंटी रैगिंग एक्ट को पढ़ें, रेगुलेशन को पढ़ें, तो यू विल फाइंड that by implication everyone on the role of the university college in the form of the teacher or non-teaching staff is responsible for preventing ragging. और अगर कोई dereliction है तो he will be responsible for some ill consequences. इसलिए मैं आप लोगों से अपील करता हूं कि आप खुद इसको पढ़िए, अवेयर होइए और एक अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन में अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम कराइए इन कंसल्टेशन विद द चेयरमैन, डिपार्टमेंट हेड, डीन, हूएवर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द कॉलेजेस, हूएवर इज. और सारी चीजें बहुत डिटेल में लिखा हुआ है कि आपको कैसे कैसे क्या क्या काम करना है इन ऑर्डर टू प्रिवेंट द रैगिंग इन योर रिस्पेक्टिव इंस्टीट्यूशन. विद दिस आई थैंक यू ऑल फॉर पेशेंट हियरिंग and joining the this program, that is orientation program. And in last, I thank to the director of the NTTC and his supporting staff for facilitating the online discussion on a topic which concern to one and all for all the universities and colleges, not only you. With this, once again, I thank to all, and I invite from everyone, if any question, clarification you want, you may raise the question or may seek the clarification relating to the matter which I have discussed in brief. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, dear participants, house is open for discussion. If you have any query or any question, or if you want to any idea or your own opinion, please do it fast.
Thank you, madam. Sir,
जी,
ये रैगिंग, एंटी रैगिंग, ये जो बात है ये तो स्टूडेंट्स के लिए है, ये ठीक है, लेकिन अगर टीचर के अंदर भी हो, सर अगर टीचर लोगों के अंदर भी हो रैगिंग की बात,
मतलब
किसी बातों से, किसी बिहेवियर से, तो सर इसको कैसे प्रीवियसली प्रिवेंट किया जा सकता है?
देखिए, just be clear that anti-ragging regulation 2009 basically seeks to prevent ragging by one student against another student of a particular university or college. So far as the staff is concerned, maybe teaching staff or maybe non-teaching staff, if somebody is subjected to some kind of the harassment or physical or mental by another colleague, junior or senior, anti-ragging regulation will not apply against him or her. That is the wrong. Number one. Uh, for the address of this problem, there is a separate mechanism. That is the uh, uh, implies code of conduct is there within the institution frame of the institution, and there is a provision for action uh, against the wrongdoer perpetrator. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि एक टीचर ने दूसरे टीचर को थप्पड़ मार दिया, एक लड़के ने दूसरे लड़के को थप्पड़ मार दिया, तो वो रैगिंग से कम कवर होगा। उसके खिलाफ जो कार्रवाई होगी वो एंटी रैगिंग रेगुलेशन के तहत होगी। ठीक, उसका सब सारी चीजें देगा। लेकिन अगर एक टीचर ने दूसरे टीचर के साथ मिसबिहेव किया है, मिसकंडक्ट किया है, उसको उसका फिजिकल मेंटल हरासमेंट किया है, एक्सप्लॉयटेशन किया है, उसके लिए जो है वो जो जो यूनिवर्सिटी और कॉलेजेस के अपने जो एम्प्लॉइज कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट है उसके तहत डील होगा। इसके अलावा वो दैट इज आल्सो एन ऑफेंस, वो आप FIR कर सकते हैं। और जो हमारा जो लॉ ऑफ द लैंड है उसके तहत जैसे किसी ने किसी को अब्यूज किया, गाली दिया या कोई ऐसी जो जेंडर ओरिएंटेड चीजें कही हैं, तो उसके लिए सेपरेटली प्रोविजन है, वो FIR दर्ज करा सकता है। और वहाँ पर इंटरनल मैकेनिज्म ये है कि ICC हमारे यहाँ होती है, हर इंस्टीट्यूशन में होता है, इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमेटी होती है, आपने सुना होगा। तो उस कमेटी के सामने मैटर जाएगा, वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन करेगी, वो अपनी रिपोर्ट देगी, उसी के हिसाब से उसके खिलाफ एक्शन। लेकिन उस पे एंटी रैगिंग रेगुलेशन अप्लाई नहीं होगा, बल्कि जो ICC के रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं उसके तहत उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होगी। और एम्प्लॉइज कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट के तहत उसको सस्पेंशन भी हो सकता है, उसका टर्मिनेशन भी हो सकता है, उस पर फाइन भी लग सकती है, उसको डिमोट किया जा सकता है, यानी उसकी सर्विस में उसको डिमोशन किया, फ्यूचर में उसको प्रमोशन है, उसको किसी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पोस्ट पे नहीं लाया जा सकता। ये तमाम पनिशमेंट हैं जो उसको दिया जाए। इसके अलावा बिसाइड दिस FIR हो सकती है और जो है वो लीगल प्रोसीडिंग भी उसके खिलाफ हो सकती है। तो दोनों चीजें अलग हैं। जो स्टाफ है उसको अलग, उसके लिए अलग रेगुलेशंस हैं। ये स्टूडेंट के लिए है कि अगर कोई स्टूडेंट के साथ कोई मिसकंडक्ट यानी कोई होता है तो वो एंटी रैगिंग अलग एक चीज है जो स्टूडेंट के खिलाफ लागू होती है।
हेलो हेलो सर।
एनी मोर क्वेश्चन?
जी जी सर। मैं डॉक्टर रघुराज सिंह सर, एक दो क्वेश्चन है हमारे। एक
फ्रॉम
तो ये
यू आर फ्रॉम?
जी सर,
यू आर फ्रॉम
मेरठ।
मेरठ?
मेरठ मेरठ जी जी।
ओके सर,
जी सर,
वेलकम।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि रैगिंग के लिए लेवल, अगर मान लो बच्चा एक जूनियर है एक सीनियर है, तब तो रैगिंग समझ में आता है। लेकिन अगर वो सेम लेवल के हैं, आपस में मारपीट करते हैं, तो क्या वो रैगिंग की कैटेगरी में आएगा? पहला क्वेश्चन ये सर।
हाँ भैया,
दूसरा सर,
बिल्कुल सही।
कभी कभी जूनियर सीनियर की रैगिंग ले लेते हैं।
जी
फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुछ बच्चे जो है MSc क्लासेज में आते हैं बाहर से,
जी
और UG के बच्चे जो है जो उनसे जूनियर हैं, वो एक दो साल अभी सेकंड ईयर थर्ड ईयर में ही हैं, लेकिन वो नया समझ के उसके साथ में से करते हैं। तो ये तो खैर मेरी समझ से तो ये एंटी उसमें रैगिंग के अंतर्गत आएगा। लेकिन जो सेम लेवल के हैं, आपस में झगड़ा करते हैं, तो क्या वो रैगिंग की कैटेगरी में आएगा कि वो अदर कैटेगरी?
डॉक्टर साहब, मैंने एट द आउटसेट आई ट्राई टू क्लैरिफाई दिस पॉइंट with reference to the regulation 3 of the anti-ragging regulation 2009। उसमें क्लियरली अगर पहला देखें तो पहले ही लिखा हुआ है, एनी कंडक्ट बाय एनी स्टूडेंट आर स्टूडेंट्स whether by words spoken, written, or by any act which has the effect of teasing, teaching, handling with rudeness, or a fresher or any other student. अब जो मैंने पहले क्लेरिफाई कर दिया कि वो कंसेप्ट खत्म हो गया कि पहले ये होता था, बिल्कुल ना, यू आर 100% राइट, दैट परसेप्शन इज दैट normally fresher is can be subjected to the ragging by senior, right? अब इसका दायरा बढ़ा दिया गया, ये कहा गया कि कोई यानी जूनियर भी, अब जैसे बात आप नहीं, अब समझने की कोशिश करिए कि जैसे हमारे यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी में है सिस्टम है, हमारे यहाँ स्कूल सिस्टम भी है, और स्कूल में जो है दर्जा 1 से हमारे यहाँ पढ़ाई शुरू होती है। अब वो भी लड़का कभी कभी यहाँ आकर के जो है, जैसे वो 9th क्लास का लड़का है, वो जो है वो BA के लड़के को कभी कभी हड़का लेता है, क्योंकि वो यहाँ पिछले 10 साल से 9वीं क्लास में, तो इसका मतलब वो 9 साल से है। और जो BSc फर्स्ट ईयर में लड़का आया, सेकंड ईयर में अभी वो 2 साल से उसकी स्टैंडिंग है। कई मर्तबा ऐसा हुआ है कि पता चला 9th क्लास का, वो कहता मैं मिंटो सर्किलिस्ट हूँ, दिमाग खराब हो गया, मैं तुमसे, तो ये ऐसा वो, अगर आप भी वो बाय तो वो क्लास वाइज जूनियर है, वो स्कूल में है, वो यूनिवर्सिटी में है, तो इसीलिए। और बाद मतलब ऐसा भी होगा, आपने देखा होगा, ऐसा हुआ है कि इसके पीछे एक फिलॉसफी की है, एक जो ये रूल बनाएंगे डॉक्टर साहब, वो कहीं ऐसा नहीं हाइपोथेटिकली नहीं है, बल्कि वेल क्या कहते हैं, ऑथेंटिकेटेड है। उसकी वजह कि इन द कोर्स ऑफ द टाइम इट हैज बीन नोटेड एंड डेटा वाज कलेक्टेड कि कभी कभी जो जूनियर लड़का होता है वो ज्यादा बदमाश होता है, कभी, और सीनियर लड़का सीधा साधा, जैसे आप मान लीजिए आप शरीफ आदमी रहे होंगे, बहुत बढ़िया आदमी शरीफ, और कुछ आपने देखा होगा कि आपसे जूनियर होगा, आपसे कम उम्र में, लेकिन वो एकदम बदमाश अकड़ के चलता है, हॉस्टल में भी क्लास में भी जूनियर हो रहा होगा, और उससे सीनियर ज्यादा डरते थे। अब पता चला कि उसने मारपीट करके सीनियर को बराबर, लाइब्रेरी में पता चला फर्स्ट ईयर का लौंडा 3rd ईयर के लड़के को कुर्सी के चक्कर में, हमारे यहाँ एक लड़का BSc का था, ये फिरोजाबाद का, सिर्फ, और अब कुर्सी नहीं थे, कुर्सी के पीछे कुछ और चक्कर था, जेंटर चक्कर था, बहरहाल वो लड़कों में आप जानते हैं इस उम्र में होता है। उसने लाइब्रेरी के बाहर निकाला और जो नेकलेस पहने होते हैं उससे ऐसे मारा कि उसके पूरे बदन को जो है फाड़ दिया पूरा। आप देखते, मैं तो चूंकि प्रॉक्टर था, मुझे, मेरे पास खबर आई, देख करके मुझे घर, और ही वॉज जूनियर, यानी जिसने मारा था वो जूनियर था, वो शायद BSc सेकंड ईयर का लड़का था, वो शायद MA का लड़का था, मुझे एग्जैक्ट, बट ही वॉज, यानी जो विक्टिम था वो सीनियर था, उसने इस कदर उसको किया था, जख्मी कर दिया कि इमीडिएटली मुझे मेडिकल कॉलेज में एडमिट कराना पड़ा, और FIR हुई, और उसको हमने यूनिवर्सिटी से बाहर कर दिया, यानी उसको हमने 5 साल के लिए रेस्ट्रिकेट किया, और सारी चीज बहरहाल वो छोड़ करके चला गया, उसके खिलाफ FIR हो गई। बाद में FIR का क्या स्टेटस मुझे नहीं मालूम। तो ऐसा नहीं, देखिए ऐसा है क्या, द बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस रेगुलेशन इज टू प्रिवेंट a mistreatment of one student by any other student। और मिसट्रीटमेंट कोई नॉर्मल आदमी बदमाशी करता है, और बदमाशी के लिए एज कोई कैद नहीं है। कभी कभी आप देख लीजिए कि मी 2 में जितने लोग गए सब 60 साल से ऊपर वाले गए हैं। आप ज्यादा अगर आप देखें तो मी 2 के जितने भी केसेज हुए थे, आप रिपोर्ट अगर आप देखें, सॉरी टू से हियर, उसमें जितने लोग थे वो सब 60 से ऊपर वाले, मेजॉरिटी से, यानी 30 साल 35 साल वाला उसमें कोई नहीं था। तो कुछ चीजें ऐसी, जैसे मिसकंडक्ट के लिए कोई एज, कोई बार नहीं है, मिस ट्रीटमेंट यानी किसी के लिए कोई वो करने के लिए कोई एज बार नहीं है। तो इसीलिए यहाँ जो बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस रेगुलेशन इज टू प्रिवेंट मिस हैंडलिंग, या जैसे मिस ट्रीटमेंट या सब्जेक्टेड टू वायलेंस एनी स्टूडेंट बाय एनी अदर। क्योंकि होता है कुछ लोग बड़े बॉडी बिल्डर होते हैं, और बेचारा पता है 3rd ईयर का लौंडा बेचारा सीधा साधा वो क्लास करने जा रहा है, और जो जूनियर है उसने बंक मार दिया, कहा कि नहीं कल से जो है पॉलिटेक्निक, हमारे यहाँ पॉलिटेक्निक है, वहाँ बहुत ज्यादा, अभी पिछले साल वह बुला करके इस कदर मारा कि डंडों से जूनियर लड़के ने, क्यों, वो कुछ सीनियर लड़के जो है क्लास करने, वो बेचारे अपना बिहार से आए थे, पढ़ने वाले थे लड़के, वो क्लास चले गए, उनको पकड़ करके वहीं मारा, इतना मारा, सब जूनियर। फर्स्ट ईयर ने स्ट्राइक की कॉल दिया। तो इसलिए ये ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डेटा इट हैज बीन मेड कि कोई भी अगर दूसरे के साथ इस तरीके से करता है, चाहे वो जूनियर हो चाहे सीनियर हो, कोई भी हो, तो वो उसके खिलाफ भी एंटी रैगिंग होगा। यहाँ तक है कि अगर कोई फीमेल स्टूडेंट है, उसने किसी मेल लड़के के साथ किया तो वो भी एंटी रैगिंग में आएगा, ऐसा नहीं है, एग्जाम्पल है। तो इसलिए ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डेटा दिस रूल हैज बीन मेड।
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening lecture and very
Thank you,
informative
sir.
and valuable for our teachers. Thank you very much, sir. In
Thank you,
despite
sir.
of busy schedule, you have
Thank you,
consented
sir.
and
Thank you, sir.
delivered such a nice
Thank you,
lecture. We
sir.
are highly grateful to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you, ladies
Thank
and
you, sir.
gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So
sir.
next
Thank you,
participation
sir.
will be
Thank
from
you, sir.
tomorrow
Thank
at
you.
9 sharp.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
मैम आज मीटिंग करोगे क्या आप?